big day in the news today. Noam Chomsky, CIA director, a top lawyer who is like working for the Obama administration, all on Epstein's calendar. I wonder if Epstein had it like marked off like Noam Chomsky with like a little heart around it, like that kind of thing. I wonder how it looked. But apparently these people were on his calendar. And Noam Chomsky, out of everybody kept it real professional, you know? CIA director, he's kept it real professional. Probably had someone else make his quote for him. You know, top lawyer, same thing. Noam Chomsky, he is 94 years old. And when you're 94, you say whatever you want. And that's what he did. He said meetings with Jeffrey Epstein are none of your business. Listen, none of your business, kid. I've been around since the 20s. I'm not answering your questions. That's what he decided to say, which makes it seem so much worse. I don't know. I don't know how you feel about that, but if somebody asked me, like if I ran across Jeffrey Epstein and we just like said hello and there was nothing to it, I'd want you to know that right away. But Noam Chomsky, he's just like, this is none of your business, which is pretty crazy. Crazy that he met with Epstein. So here's some things in the article. So when asked about their connection to Jeffrey Epstein, many business leaders and bureaucrats offered tight-lipped regrets and apologies, but not Noam Chomsky. His first response, like, here's what he said. Here's his quote. First response is that it is none of your business or anyone's. Second is that I knew him and we met occasionally. Noam Chomsky, 94, told the Journal in an email. Hey, listen, as soon as I saw 94, I was like, that's why he gave that answer, because he's 94 years old. He could care less. Here, let me just jump over to a clip that kind of explains a little bit about it, and then we're going to go more into Noam Chomsky and what he had to say. Here it is.
Crimes in 2008. CIA Director William Burns had 3 meetings scheduled with Epstein in 2014 when he was Deputy Secretary of State. A CIA spokesperson told the Journal that the two men had, quote, no relationship. White House counsel for the Obama administration, Catherine Rumler, had dozens of meetings with Epstein in the years after her White House service and before she became a top lawyer at Goldman Sachs Group Incorporated. She said she regrets ever knowing Epstein. Leon Botstein, the president of Bard College, invited Epstein, who brought a group of young female guests to the campus. He told the Journal he was trying to elicit a donation from the disgraced financier. And then there's Noam Chomsky, the famed leftist political activist and professor who was scheduled to fly with Epstein and to have dinner at Epstein's Manhattan townhouse in 2015. He maintains his relationship with Epstein is, quote, no one's business, and that they discussed academia.
That is wild. They discussed academia. Let me tell you something. If I only discussed academia with somebody, I would tell you what we discussed, because it would just be about academia. And then I wouldn't have to be aligned with this horrible person, you know? I would just lay it out there. You know, we talked about reports and, you know, the way people write essays and, you know, look. But he's just like, nah, I'm not telling you a word about our academic discussions. I don't know. And you know what the thing is with this whole thing? Is that they're talking about his calendar. They're releasing names from the calendar. Why don't they just release that whole list that they've had, that whole flight log that they have? Why don't they just give that to us? Like, why isn't there just a bunch of news stations that are just like, here it is, just here it is, every single name? Like, that's what we need. We don't really need special calendar dates that he had with Noam Chomsky. I mean, like, that's good too, but where's the list? You know, if you're able to tell us names off of his calendar, tell us names off the flight log, and like, let us see it. Just let us see all of them. I don't get it. Let's go back over here to the article. That was his response there. Epstein, the disgraced financier accused of sex trafficking underage. Didn't he actually do this? What is this accused and financier? He is not known as a financier, as far as I know. He died by murder and disguised as suicide in 2019. Did I read that right? Maybe I read it wrong. Sorry. In a Manhattan jail as he awaited trial. His infamous black book of contacts and flight logs was made public in 2015. Was it though? Was it though? Because I can't exactly find it. And when I do find it, they seem a little fake, like somebody did it. I don't know. I just want like a legit source to just put out the flight logs, you know? Like, I don't know. And that's the thing. It's like, I was going to say like CNN and ABC, but like all of the names, you put out all of the names, they probably have connections to every single news outlet that could possibly put it out there. So obviously, we're never going to really see it. Funny enough, Joe Rogan said he had access to it, which is really weird. He was like, I could have saw that list. He's like, I said I didn't want to see it. He's like, somebody had it for him to see. And he's like, I don't want to see it, which is wild because it's like, what if it's some of your friends? Like, don't you want to know that and not be friends with them anymore? Let's keep going with the article though. In addition to Noam Chomsky, the Journal noted meetings Epstein had on his calendar with the CIA director, and then the top lawyer woman at Goldman Sachs, and former White House consul under President Barack Obama, among others. Here's the thing about hit pieces, right? You gotta always watch for hit pieces, because why does it say among others? Why don't they just tell us every single name? You know? Like, why is it that it's Noam Chomsky, the CIA director, and then some lawyer that we've never really heard of all that much? Like, why not just all the names? You know? Like, what's the difference between whoever the among others is and Catherine Rumoller? Like, what's the difference? I don't know. Really weird. But Epstein's meetings with Noam Chomsky appear to have taken place in 2015, 2016. According to the Journal, Epstein was first charged with procuring minors for prostitution and registered as a sex offender in 2008. In March 15th, Epstein scheduled meetings with Chomsky and a Harvard University professor, the Journal reported. Chomsky confirmed. Chomsky? I know I'm butchering the name and somebody's like going crazy right now. I apologize. It's okay. But this guy's friends with Jeffrey Epstein, so I don't particularly care. We'll just say Noam. Noam confirmed for the paper that there were several meetings that were where they discussed various topics. So he was a registered sex offender in 2008, and Chomsky was still willing to sit down and have meetings with him in 2015. See, here's the thing. It's like, you know, I used to know a lot of people who did illegal stuff, right? And when let's say like drug dealers, like one drug dealer would get arrested, and then he'd come out, and then, or he's like arrested for a violent act, you know, attempted murder, whatever it may be, he'd come out, his friends, his people, the people who were also in that line of work, they'd still meet with him because it's like, I'm no better. I do all the things you do. I just never got caught. That would always be the mindset, right? Really, that's what really comes to mind when I see this. And he's telling people it's nobody's business. It's crazy. Let's just go to another quote. No. Sorry. This is the part that stood out to me. Epstein scheduled a flight with Chomsky and his wife for a planned dinner movie with director Woody Allen. That's it. Case closed. Officer Johnson, do you have your cuffs on you? I certainly do. Well, put them on him. He was hanging out with Woody Allen. That's it. Nothing more to see here. Watch your head as we put you in the... Watch your head. Gonna close the door now. Watch your knees. That's it. You're with Woody Allen. Jeez. And his daughter, his wife, Soon Yi Previn, who is his adopted daughter, blah, 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 blah. It's his daughter, basically. Whew. Wow. That's a rough scene. You're hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein and Woody Allen. What? At the same time? Oh, man. You're just the guy that didn't get caught. My opinion. Obviously, it's not fact. Just what I think when I hear something like this. Now let's go to his quote. If there was a flight, which I doubt, it would have been from Boston to New York, 30 minutes. I'm unaware of the principle that requires that I inform you about an evening spent with a great artist. This is incredible. See, this is what you get to do when you're 94 years old. This is exactly what you get to do. If there was a flight which I doubt because I'm 94. I barely remember. It would have been from Boston to New York. Knows the exact locations. 30 minutes. Knows exactly how long it would take. And I'm unaware of the fact that I don't have to tell you about an evening spent with a great artist where we talked about all sorts of things. I'm sorry, sir. Did you say that there wasn't a flight or there was? I don't know. Maybe. None of your business. Oh, man. Oh, man. I'll just read a little bit more and then I'm done here. Oh, there's only a little bit more left. Chomsky said he discussed politics and academics in his meetings with Epstein. Epstein donated $850,000 between 2002 and 2017 to MIT, where NOAM taught for decades. Now, here's the last quote that he said. And this reminds me of every illegal person that I used to hang out with, because this was always the mindset. What was known about Jeffrey Epstein was that he had been convicted of a crime and he had served his sentence. Right? Done. He's just like, according to U.S. laws and norms, that yields a clean slate. Right? He's just like, listen, he served his time. Okay? As far as I'm concerned, he didn't even do anything wrong. All right? Because when we were on that island, never mind. None of your business. Wow. I just wanted to bring you guys that story. Again, CIA director, he's just like, I got nothing to say. CIA, we're tight-lipped. There's aliens on this planet we don't even tell you about. I'm not telling you about this. The lawyer, she's like, I'm a lawyer. I know my rights. I don't have to say anything. Noam Chomsky just said everything. And back from what I said, where I was like, why are they just mentioning Noam Chomsky? It's because he said the wildest stuff. If he just didn't say anything, they would have just been like, he did this, but he has no comment. That would have been it. But instead, he's saying this guy served his sentence. It's fine. I don't see what the problem is. It's incredible, actually. It's incredible. If there was a flight, listen, if there was a flight, it would have took 30 minutes. I would have had to put on my gray pants. I would have told my wife to put on the red dress that Jeffrey likes. Then we would have went over to the airport, got inside the plane. I would have had my favorite drink that I always have. What's going on with this guy? Just detailing everything. But it's a funny story, but it's not a funny story. And I wish they would just release all of the names that were on the flight log, all of the names that are on this calendar, because then we could move on as a society and just cancel Hollywood. We could just cancel it. We could just be like, we're done with Hollywood. We're done listening to you guys. We're done watching your movies. We know what you're about. We know the stuff you've done. We want no part of it. And many other businesses that we'd probably boycott. I mean, Bud Light hired Dylan Mulvaney and they lost $6 billion. What would happen if you found out, X company had 8 guys who were going to Epstein's Island every weekend? You know what I mean? There's a lot of businesses that I think would get boycotted, that need to be boycotted. So, funny the things that Noam Chomsky said, but not funny what he potentially did. Potentially, because there's no proof of anything, all there is the things that he said, and the things that he said don't sound good, not to me at least. And other than that, I'm out.